Hey everyone, how's it going? My name is Fairfic, and this is World of Tanks. In this video, I'm driving my Tier 9 German medium tank, the Leopard Prototype A. This is one of two Tier 9 German medium tanks, the other being the E50. And the map I'm on is, I think it's Servergorsk, something like that. I apologize if I butchered the pronunciation there. But anyways, when I spawn on the south of this map, and I'm in a decently fast tank, I like to go to that position just behind the rock, because it allows me to put shots into tanks that are on the ridge in D3 or D4, in that area, if they push up aggressively. None of the enemy team did, so I moved to my next spot that I usually go to in a fast-ish tank on this map. And from here I can shoot at tanks on the opposite hill, like this Chaffee here. Unfortunately, he does end up getting away. But there's a Yag Tiger, and I don't damage him, but I take off his track, and he uses his repair kit. Now, as long as I don't get spotted here, I'm relatively safe, because most of the enemy tanks will be on the opposite hill, and people don't tend to go through the middle of the map so much. At least in my experience. And there's an Object 704 preventing most of the enemy tanks on my side of the map from pushing over the hill, although an IS-6 does end up coming forward right now. And I'm about to notice him right here. We both try to get a shot on each other, but neither of us have the gun depression, and we both pull back. I guess it's sort of like when you bump into somebody in a hallway and you both go and try and move to one side, but the other person moves to that side as well. And you sort of just stand there awkwardly trying to figure out which way you're going so you don't block the other person. Anyways, this Leopard prototype comes forward, and unfortunately, that shot doesn't penetrate. If it had, this game would have been quite a bit better, in my opinion. Well, it wasn't a bad game. It was definitely a lot of fun and very intense. But killing that Leopard prototype would have made it better. But I finish off the IS-6 for 88 damage. And decisions. Tiger 2 from the front or side of a T-32. I get a lucky track off on the side of the T-32, and the Object 704 finishes him off. Here I get the chance to redeem myself for not killing the Chaffee before. And we're starting to win this game, at least at the moment. Didn't really look like we had much of a chance early on in the beginning, according to XVM at least. And not that XVM is always right. I mean, you can win very low percentage games. It's just XVM is right most of the time, in my experience. So, my tank bounced a little bit there as I was trying to take the shot, and I end up shooting his angled upper plate. And instead of going head-on with him like I was originally going to, I decided to go around this little hill here, because I'm in a pretty mobile medium tank, so why go head-on with heavy tanks? Oh, and there's an E75. So I pull back. He misses, but I get to put a shot into his lower plate. And I have never seen so many enemy tanks camping this far back in their spawn on this map before. And I'm also not sure why this guy turned his side armor towards me, but happy to keep him tracked there from my team to finish off. And now I can start damaging this AMX 50-120. Looks like the enemies have taken the opposite hill, for the most part at least. We have a couple guys hanging on, but they're not long for this world. Take a shot from the AMX 50-120, but it looks like he's reloading here, because he doesn't shoot me again. And I get to put a shot into him, take his track off, and just wait to reload. And finish him off. So, 4 kills and 4,000 damage. And we're still ahead on tanks at the moment. Oh, well, now it's even. And the enemies are rushing our lone T-32. Looks like that shot went into the spaced side armor of the IS-3. Which is unfortunate. I'm not able to save the T-32. I take a shot at the enemy team's best player, but it was poorly aimed and goes into his tracks. And I have side shots on the T-69 now, which is hounding our Tiger II and Jag Tiger. Although I'm not entirely sure why they're down there. I guess because there were so many enemy tanks in the middle. But now we have an IS-6 and an IS-3 going towards the enemy cap. And I thought that this is where we'd win. And I get an unfortunate bounce here on the 50-100. Who sets our Jag Tiger on fire before dying. Take a punt at the IS-3 before he re-stealths. Unfortunately it misses. And the T-69 finishes off our Jag Tiger. I try to save our Tiger II, but the DPM on this tank is just too low. But I can avenge him with this shot. Now 5 kills and 5,000 damage. And there's only 2 enemy tanks remaining. Now, you're about to see some really skillful driving here, so pay attention, everybody. Yeah, that's right. I'm not real good at driving fast tanks. And you'll see that again at least 2 more times in this video. But anyways, I'm going to help out our remaining tanks, which died, unfortunately. They were out in the open, and the IS-3 and the WZ-120 killed them from range, it looks like. Now I'm going up to try and fight with the WZ-120. Now, there's not a whole lot I know about the WZ-120. I do know that it has bad aim time. That's Top Gun, although has good alpha, and I wasn't entirely sure how good the rate of fire was. And it has even worse gun depression than the Leopard Prototype A. So I missed my shot on him when he gets spotted, and he misses his. And the IS-3 shoots at me as well from stealth. So now I want to get off of this hill and out of the open. So I track him in place so he can't come out and shoot me as I go down. I drive over a bump and track myself. And I'm not really familiar with the buildings in here, so I thought I might have been able to get a shot in between them at the corner there. Turns out that's not the case, but I'm pretty much in cover from the IS-3, and I'm keeping their best player proxy spotted, which is important for me, because I don't want him shooting me from stealth with that gun, which does 440 damage on average, with quite good penetration. So I re-stealth, and I decide to use this dried up riverbed to get around to the other side and remain unspotted, and hopefully surprise him from behind. Yeah, I know that sounded weird. But anyways, I've loaded high explosive anti-tank, because I want all of my shots to penetrate. It's important to me to win this game, so I don't have to play this tank again. This was a ×3 weekend when I played this game, and I'm not a big fan of the Leopard prototype, so I like to play it as little as possible. Managed to take out the IS-3 from behind, but now the WZ-120 knows where I am, and I thought he was going to rush me there, but he just takes off towards his cap. Take a punt at his turret as he drives by, but I miss, unfortunately. And he re-stealths, but I decide not to follow his path directly, because I didn't know if he was planning on setting up an ambush for me somewhere, so I wanted to approach from an unexpected direction. Because while the WZ-120 is not exactly a slow tank, the Leopard is much faster. But he didn't exactly appear where I thought he might, so I decided to go looking for him. And I don't want to cap here because I want to be able to control the engagement and pick where I shoot from. If I sat in the cap, he could come at me from any direction basically, and I would not be able to be in cover while I cap. Now, I'm surprised by this location he took here. And yes, that dirt mound is poorly modeled. But he's just out in the open on a hill with a tank that has poor gun depression. And I'm trying to get him to shoot here at my hull armor, which is very well angled, and I don't think he can overmatch, which is why I got that bounce there initially. Although he hits me in the side. And because I had the health advantage, I know I can take another shot from him to secure the kill, as long as he doesn't ammo rack me here. And I finish him off for 7 kills. That was my ace tanker in the Leopard Prototype A. With the ×3 bonus and premium account, this was a 7,000 experience game, as well as I picked up the Top Gun medal, and doing 6,753 damage, with a base experience of 1,564. I managed to take 2,380 potential damage, as well as do 1,736 assistance damage, with either spotting or tracking damage. Anyways guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. Maybe I'll catch you next time. Happy hunting.